Welcome back. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's keep the discussion going on the World Cup. The final is upon us. Can you beat that? I remember when we were saying 100 days to go. On Sunday, the final will be played. On Saturday, we'll have the third place match. What a story. Where are you putting your money? What are you rooting for? I know Africans are already saying that we have African brothers in the French team. But when you look at the analysis that Tussle gave Croatia, might just be giving us something new to talk about. But I want to know, let me start saying it on social media. What do you think? Which of the teams do you think will lift the trophy on Sunday? Is it France? Will it be Croatia? Talk to us on Twitter, our channels, _sports, Facebook channels, IFA Sports. We've just opened that thread on our social media platforms. Who do you think will win the FIFA World Cup 2018 edition on Sunday? France or Croatia? That should get us talking. Let's bring the discussion back home now. We're also counting down to the Africa Athletics Championship, the Senior Championships, and it will be done right here in Nigeria, Asaba, to be precise. The Minister for Youth and Sports, Solomon Dalung, had his own round of inspection at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba to see if they are really ready to host the championship. That's the chairman of the local organizing committee right there, Solomon Ogba, putting the minister through, saying, look, we are ready. The other day, Tulu, we saw the tartan tracks, they're already fixing it. Asaba is really ready. The governor says, look, we're not just putting together a stadium for just this championship. We want to put a stadium that can host all the international events.
And that is key because when planning for these kind of things, you need to consider what you will do with the infrastructure after the event so that it doesn't go to lie in waste or ruin. And then we have to start thinking of repairs, maintenance in some 9, 10, 15 years. Yeah. So, and that is brilliant to plan ahead, knowing that the championship is major, but afterwards, how does it benefit the local people of Asaba and Delta State as a whole? How do we make sure that we don't start looking for money to build a new stadium or repair this one in some years' time? And that is key for them. So on that note, that's absolutely excellent. The track is looking great. The pitch, it looks absolutely breathtaking at the moment. And we wait to see what happens next. Of course, you expect that the drainage system are in perfect conditions. I do not think that in the nearest future, this pitch might host the Super Eagles, but yeah, should Delta State have, or any club side near Delta State be playing on the continent, they can always look at this place as a possible home ground for them, or an alternative home ground for them to play their games.
I think it's a good one. I also see, you can see some of the job being done on the certain tracks. Yeah. The games, the Africa Athletics Championship will begin on August the 1st and run till the 5th. A good opportunity for Nigeria to once again show the world that we cannot just only compete, but we can also put together a world-class event.
Definitely, and of course it's not the first time, but this is big. This is big in modern era for Nigeria to host a competition of this magnitude, and we wait to see how this pans out. Yeah. We know that the last report we had some months ago said that by July 19 everything should be ready, and from what we're saying right now, everything looks close to 100%. Okay. So let's see what happens next. I think Asaba is ready, and this is good.
I guess the Minister for Youth for trying out some imaginary shot puts right there, and then some person had to give way just in case something wants to land on them. Let's listen to Barrister Solomon Dalung, his views as regards this inspection that was conducted in Asaba today.
Well, this afternoon when I came, I had to disagree with those leading me whether they were actually taking me to the rightful place. But since it has to do with construction, there are basic structures that is evidential. And indeed, there had been great and massive advancement from where we met last to where we are today. I can confidently assert that with what I have seen here, our capacity to even host a world championship is possible. This championship is an African championship, and it's Nigeria that is hosting. So there is already an existing partnership between the federal government and Delta State government. That is why I visit here regularly to try to ascertain the level of progress recorded so far. We are not going to allow the entire funding burden to lie on the shoulders of Delta State government, because the benefit that is derivable from here will not go to Delta State government, but it will go to Nigeria, because everybody coming to this competition is coming to Nigeria. So Delta is going to be a secondary beneficiary.
So that's it. The Minister for Youth and Sports are saying that the financial burden will not be on Delta State. And I saw Solomon Ogba saying, that sounds good, that's good. But that's a good sense of responsibility. Yeah. Government is the major player. And the only way you can get other states to do things as this is when you support them.
Definitely. Don't put the whole load on them. Take it as serious as this. We know, or we can tell that the federal government is interested in this because it puts Nigeria back on the continental map and African map, and you don't want to embarrass the nation. So the sport minister had to keep checking time and again what's the progress, what is going on, let us know, should there be support.
Even the governor has done about 6 different
because it is important. It's like the minister rightly said, this is not just about Asaba. Everyone who's coming for the championship are not going to Asaba. In their head, we are going to Nigeria. Yeah. So whatever happens here, no one knows if it's Lagos or Abuja or Port Harcourt. They are in Nigeria as far as they are concerned. And yeah, the title is Asaba, but Nigeria is important. Right. And the image we pass out there is important. And it's great that the federal government have not left it alone on the shoulders of the state government, because it could have been burdensome. Stepping in at the right time has been absolutely brilliant from the government.
Awesome. Good one coming from the Minister for Youth and Sports as regards Nigeria's preparation for the Africa Athletics Championships. Put that down on your calendar. August the 1st, so when the World Cup is done, we get to the tracks with some athletics. Athletics, I saw the president of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Mr. Brian Gusoria. I saw him standing at the back of the minister. All is now well with athletics in Nigeria. Remember, athletes protested on Sunday, and then that stopped the track and field championship that was going on at the time in Abuja. The Minister for Youth and Sports. So that's some of the athletes. Urupe was in need big time. Patience Palm was in need also, saying they do not want Sunday Adeleye as their athletes representative. The Sunday Adeleye must go. Let's listen to the minister. The minister had something to say about this. This is the father of sports in Nigeria.
I have not been briefed about any crisis in the board of the federation, but you know, we are living in a digital age. I was privileged to watch an expression of displeasure by athletes in Abuja who were not comfortable with certain things. And you know, in democracy, the tool and the weapon of every individual is to express his discontent. So that should not be magnified to be crisis. Because when you are talking about crisis, you look at its impact and implication on the leadership and the ability of the leadership to organize. I have been briefed of the meeting of the board of NFF that took place here yesterday. So if there was crisis, I doubt if the board could have met.
So the ministers are trying to go soft on it, no crisis. Honorable Minister, I needed to listen to Charles Hima yesterday on the show, and of course Sunday Adele. A lot of things need to be done. It says about 169 signatures have confirmed that they want Sunday Adele out, that he cannot do the dual role of athletes representative and technical director of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria. But it's good to know that it's not really a crisis. So the Athletics Federation of Nigeria must find a way to, you know, it's all about welfare for the athletes. They cannot work or perform under poor conditions. So it's important that we get that out of the way. So there's AFM crisis. There's also the NFF leadership crisis. And we know that we'll be talking about this one until the last sitting of the High Court, the Federal Court in Jos, and that has adjourned the case to September the 25th. We got to be careful when we talk about this. But the Minister for Youth and Sport also has something to say about the crisis going on in the Nigeria Football Federation.
Nigerian Football Federation has in recent times been engulfed there is a resurgence of their existing crisis. And I think it is better Nigerians are informed about this crisis. This crisis dates back to 2004, when Ibrahim Galadima was removed out of office. And that has been haunting the Federation. It led to subsequent removal of previous leaders until this last election that became controversial. Now, under FIFA statutes, sports issues are determined by the courts of arbitration. But in the current NFF crisis, both parties have subscribed to the jurisdiction of Nigerian court, because Giwa went to the Federal High Court, Amaju went to Court of Appeal. So all of them had submitted themselves to the jurisdiction of the Nigerian judiciary. Now, the final judgment that rocks the camel's back is the decision of the Supreme Court, following appeal from the judgment of the Court of Appeal. And that judgment restored orders that were granted by the Federal High Court in Jos in 2014. And it was the orders that were rolled and served on me that led to what we are calling crisis. But for us, we had basically just complied with the order of court. And let us not forget that government is limited from interfering in domestic affairs of football. And both parties sued me in my capacity as a minister. Therefore, they drag government into this matter. So government is just a victim. And that is why when people argued about saying, oh, FIFA will ban, will it be fair that the man who has been receiving beating by people who are fighting at the end of the day will bear the brunt of the crisis? I think that would be unfair. We never interfere. We have funded football, we have supported football, but their inability to manage their internal crisis, which took them to court and they dragged us into it. And I was served a court order directly. And 7 days after, contempt proceedings were served on me. As a lawyer, I would prefer to leave office with my name as a lawyer than to be bailed or have fine to pay when I will have arrived to jail prison. So this is the reality of the situation. And you ask which way forward. I have suggested long before now that this issue is a family issue and cannot be resolved by a judicial decision. I have mounted so much pressure on the parties, but there is no good faith. In every negotiation, if there is no good faith, you are not likely going to have that issue resolved. But now that it has happened, I believe that parties would have learned their lessons the hard way, and they may be able to shift grounds from the tenacious positions they held and move closer so that we can overcome this issue.
Okay, so you say it's even exhaustive for the minister to talk about this NFF leadership crisis. Tried to tell you that it dates as far back as 2004. So, but it made it clear that, look, we didn't interfere. We were just on our own, and then we were served cut papers. But the minister always talking about Jeffries. It's important that we do the right things. It's important we do the right thing.
It is important, and like he rightly said, both of them at some point faltered. Both parties sought the court at some point, which was against the statutes. Whoever began it does not matter, but at some point they both did. All of this could have been avoidable where in 2015 they reached a sort of resolution that said, okay, you have won the case. We will sort of find a middle ground for you, Giwa, and your board on this. And then nothing happened. And then they felt aggrieved, and then he went back to court. So at some point, it looked like we reached the end of it, but then something just happened, and then we are back to it. It's funny where we are, where we stand right now. Nobody wants this. It's curtailing the development of football in the nation. But the truth is, both parties have erred at some point or the other. And it will take an amicable resolution for us to get to the end of this. Otherwise, it will linger on, it will drag on. we don't know how far it will go, but it will hurt the careers of some people.
That's right. And you can see, I listened to the Minister for Youth and Sports saying, I could keep threatening us with the FIFA ban, but FIFA should also help Nigerian football to do the right thing. Sports Tonight on Channels TV. Let's go on this break. When we come back, Nigeria has been given the hosting rights for the 2019 Powerlifting Championship. It will be done right here in Lagos. We'll talk about it when we come back and play some tennis, so don't go anywhere. Stay.